Thanks again for joining the webinar CIS Control Masterclass series with me. Hope the first two sessions was helpful and informative. Today, we are going into implementation group 3 and we'll also cover the overall security functions of all three implementation groups and the products we have discussed so far in the series. Let's discuss first about the implementation group 3 today. So IG3 is comprised of an additional 23 safeguards. It's built upon the safeguards identified in implementation group 1, 56 safeguards, 74 safeguards from implementation group 2. So totaling of 153 safeguards in CIS controls version A. An implementation group 3 enterprise commonly employs security experts that specialize in the different facts of cybersecurity. Example, risk management, penetration testing, and application security. Implementation group 3 assets and data contain sensitive information or functions that are subject to regulatory and compliance oversight. An implementation group 3 enterprise must address availability of services and the confidentiality and integrity of the service data. Successful attacks can cause significant harm to the public welfare. So let's dive into the security functions one by one: detect, identify, protect, recover, and respond. Like the same we went through implementation group 1 and 2. So let's quickly dive into security function detect. And the first one, use a passive Active Directory tool. So using a passive Active Directory tool to identify assets connected to the enterprise network, review and use scans to update the enterprise asset inventory at least weekly or more frequently based on your organizational structure. ManageEngine OpUtils effectively monitors DHCP servers by seamlessly integrating with your network's Active Directory. This enables you to link your DHCP servers and AD domains. The integration helps you to track the status of your IP space by displaying the domain-specific leased and available IP addresses. Using OpUtils, you cannot just scan for devices connected in the network, but you can also block the switch ports when you find an unauthorized device that gets connected. The next security function, log sensitive data access. Logging sensitive data access includes not just access, but also modification and disposal. So the complete life cycle. Data Security Plus can audit file folder changes like creation, list of all files created, renamed, moved events, list of all move, rename, and file extension changes for all the files that we have configured in the Data Security Plus product. Security permission changes, list of all security changes, including permissions, owners, and SACL changes. List of all failed read, write, and delete attempts. So not just access, the complete life cycle of the data that's been accessed that is there in your infrastructure. It can also tell you the list of all file read events. So when a user is trying to read a particular file, that also gets captured and you can see them. Files copied, list of all files copied during local or remote access. Let's move on to the next one, collect service provider logs. This control talks about authentication and authorization events, data creation and disposal events, user management events of your service providers. Now, with AD Audit Plus, you can very well achieve the same. User creation in your Active Directory and changes and modifications done can be monitored and can be reported against. You can see that in the message. As you can see, the recently created users, who created it, creation status, and recently modified users, modified attributes. What was the modification done? You can see that in the message. So let's move on to the next security function, tune security event alerting thresholds. So tuning security event alerting thresholds monthly or more frequently is what the CIS have to suggest us in this particular CIS controls. So we can suggest multiple products from ManageEngine for security event alerting. First one, AD Audit Plus. AD Audit Plus provides 3 different alert notification, which includes attention, trouble, and critical. The degree of importance or the severity to be associated with an event is decided and configured by the administrator while configuring the alert profiles as you see on the screen. You can also set thresholds on the number of events that occur, and based on the same, you can get alerted. So if just one event occurs, do not alert me, but then if it occurs 10 times within 5 minutes, the same can be configured as attention, trouble, or critical, and you can get alerted as an IT administrator. An automated way of doing so is through Log360 UEBA. We have already discussed about this function in CIS Control 8.1, which was on implementation group 2. Log360 UEBA, powered by machine learning, can detect anomalies by recognizing subtle shifts in user activities. It helps you identify, qualify, and investigate threats that might otherwise go unnoticed by extracting more information from your logs to give you better context. Any deviation from the normal behavior is classified as a time count or a pattern-based anomaly. Time-based. There is a deviation between the expected time an activity would usually occur and the time it actually occurred. Example, a user logs on between 9 a.m., 9:15, and then logs out by 6 or 6:30 in the evening. But strangely, he logs in by 11 p.m. This is an anomaly that Log360 UEBA will identify and alert the administrator. Next one is the count based. So there is a deviation between the expected number of activities and the actual number of activities. Usually, a user accesses a file server once in every week, and suddenly he's logging to multiple file servers, accessing more files frequently. So this is a count-based anomaly that Log360 can identify out of the box. And the last one is pattern-based. There is an unexpected sequence of event that takes place. Each event taken in isolation may not be considered as an anomaly, but when they are all considered happening together as a sequence, it is a deviation from what is expected and will be flagged by the Log360 UEBA console. It then gives actionable insights to the IT administrator with the use of risk scores, anomaly trends, and intuitive reports. So Log360 or AD Audit Plus can help you in fine-tuning your security events and setting up thresholds in your infrastructure. So let's move on. Security function, identify, access service providers. Service providers. This will be more of accessing service providers to your organization, service providers consistent with the enterprise service provider management policy. Assessment scope may vary based on classifications and may include review of standardized assessment reports, such as Service Organizational Control 2, SOC 2, and Payment Card Industry, PCI compliance, attestation of compliance, customized questionnaires, or other appropriately rigorous processes. The next one, perform periodic internal penetration tests. So, performing periodic internal penetration test based on program requirements not less than annually. So, this is a suggestion that CIS have provided us. The testing may be a clear box or an opaque box. White box testing, also known as clear box testing or glass box testing, transparent box testing, and structural testing, is a method of software testing that tests internal structures or working of an application as opposed to its functionality, that is black box testing. Because business organizations are worried more about the functionality rather than security. So we need to do a clear box testing on the security aspects of the products. So that's on assessing service providers and performing periodic internal penetration test with clear box or opaque box testing. So let's move on. Security function protect. Allow list authorized scripts. Through Application Control Plus, Manage Engine Desktop Central Security add-on, you can whitelist application not just by vendors or product names. You can also whitelist application using verified executable and file hash. File hash is the most secure policy as it's based on the hash value of the executable file. All executable files of the running processes, including those that don't have a valid digital certificate, will be displayed to you. You can choose all the files that you wish to whitelist. After that, even the smallest change to the file, such as a revision of the file's version, will change its hash value, meaning the file will be removed instantly from the application whitelist. This policy is perfect if you want to run only extremely specific executables or scripts. Next one, deploy a data loss prevention solution. So CIS suggests implementing an automated tool such as a host-based data loss prevention tool to identify all sensitive data stored, processed, or transmitted through the enterprise assets, including those located on site or at a remote service providers or even remote workforce, and update the enterprise's sensitive data inventory. With Manage Engine Data Security Plus Data Loss Prevention module, you can have a process of identifying sensitive data, monitoring its flow across the organization, and preventing its theft, loss, or misuse through unintended or unauthorized actions. With Data Security Plus, you can discover and classify data, delete or quarantine files, or stop USB data transfers. Spot instances of anomalies in user behavior and stop files from being exfiltrated via external storage device or via email, Outlook, web access. The next security function, protect, talks about separating enterprise workforce on mobile end user devices. Ensure separate enterprise workspaces are used on mobile end user devices where supported. Example, implementations include using Apple configuration profile or Android work profile to separate enterprise application and data from personal application and data. In Mobile Device Management Plus of the Desktop Central product, we offer containerization in Android and iOS devices. Now, Android containerization is a logical isolation of enterprise data from personal data while coexisting in the same device. The work profile notification and app icons will have a work badge to be distinguished from personal notifications and apps. Another benefit of containerization is that they can exist two versions of any app inside and outside of the container. So you can have the same app inside the personal data and the corporate containerization. The flow of data between both the versions is restricted in addition to the transfer of data in and out of the containers. Now, iOS containerization, unlike Android, which provides this functionality by default, Apple doesn't offer containerization on iOS devices. Though Apple doesn't provide this function, ManageEngine lets you achieve a logical container like setup using multiple policies and multiple restrictions. For example, sharing data from managed apps to unmanaged apps. These restrictions prevent unauthorized access of corporate data by unapproved apps and also prevent users from removing the existing configurations by factory resetting the device. The next control, define and maintain role-based access control. We already discussed assigning roles to users based on the permission they need on the enterprise resources on the PAM360 that serves as a repository for sensitive passwords. Therefore, fine-grained access restrictions are critical for protecting your data. PAM360 provides role-based access control to achieve this. By default, PAM360 has 6 predefined roles that comes with specific set of permissions. Privileged administrators have they have the administrative rights. In addition, they also have the privilege to configure privacy and security controls. Administrators, users with this role can manage all users' resources and password-related operations, as well as access audit records and reports. However, they can view only those resources and passwords that were created by them and the one that's shared with them by other administrators and privileged administrators and password administrators. Now, the third one is the password administrator, who can perform resource and password related operations. However, they can view only those resources and passwords that were created by them and the ones shared with them by other users. And you have password auditors and password users. Password auditors have the same privilege as a regular user. In addition, they have access to audit reports, audit records and reports. Password users, the minimal role that can be provided to a user in PAM360, who can view passwords that are shared with them by the administrator or the password administrator or the privileged administrator. In addition, users with these roles can modify passwords shared with them. If the share permission given gives them that privilege, connection users have the same privilege as the password user. In addition, they can take remote control, perform file transfers, access remote apps when a resource associated with remote apps is shared to them by the administrators. So you have different roles and permissions that you can provide to achieve role-based access control, not just to the resources with the least privilege, but also within the PAM 360 product. And you can also create custom roles and then assign those custom roles to the users of your organization. Establish and maintain dedicated computer resources for all administrative work. So you need to have a dedicated computer resource. This was a control that was discussed multiple times in CIS version 7.1. You need to have a dedicated account, or have a dedicated account for administrative tasks, or have a dedicated account computer resource for doing administrative tasks. So talking about dedicated accounts, there are multiple privileged accounts that are used in the organization. Local administrative accounts or non-personal accounts that provide administrative access to the local host or instances only. Privileged user accounts are named credentials that have been granted administrative privileges on one or more systems. Domain administrative accounts have privileged administrative access across all workstations and servers within the domain. Emergency accounts provides unprivileged users with administrative access to secure systems in the case of an emergency and are sometimes referred to as firewall or break glass accounts. Service accounts that we already know can be privileged local or domain accounts that are used by an application or service to interact with the operating system. Active Directory or domain service accounts make password changes even more challenging as they require coordination across multiple systems. Application accounts are accounts used by application to access databases, run batch jobs or scripts, or provide access to other applications. These accounts can be very well managed by PAM 360. For a dedicated computer resource, you need not have a dedicated physical machine, but this can be virtual, and you can have PAM 360 solution provide access to that particular resource. So a regular user logs into PAM 360, and from PAM 360 he logs into a resource which provides him administrative access, and everything will be recorded and can be audited at a later point of time. Moving on to the next security function, deploy a host-based intrusion prevention solution. We have discussed about this in the second webinar as well. We have seen multiple products helping us to prevent intrusion in the network. With the help of Device Control Plus, you can prevent unauthorized removable devices from getting connected. With the help of OpUtils, you can prevent unauthorized devices getting connected. With Data Security Plus, you can detect and prevent data leak through USBs and email outlooks. If you have a network device to do IDS, IPS, Event Log Analyzer can monitor these logs and extract the information they provide to further secure your network. Event Log Analyzer provides out-of-the-box support for multiple IPS, IDS vendors, Cisco, Juniper, SonicWall, WatchGuard, or Fortinet, or Checkpoint, or Sophos. Event Log Analyzer makes network device monitoring simple. Once configured, Event Log Analyzer automatically collects IDS, IPS logs from these devices and stores them in a central location. So with this central location, you can have predefined reports cover varying aspects of your network and help you gain perspective on your network's overall security standing. Instant alerts ensure you are the first to know when something suspicious is detected in the infrastructure in your network. For instance, malicious traffic alerts lets you know when intruders try to access your network. Event Log Analyzer also allows you to search the collected logs using several powerful search options and securely store logs for as long as you need them. Manage Engine doesn't offer these physical appliances, but then these reporting are available in Event Log Analyzer. So whenever an attack occurs on your network with information on the most frequent attacks and the source of these attacks can be brought in as a report in the Event Log Analyzer product. It can give you information on the most targeted devices on your network, what is the attack trends. So these reports on intrusions help an administrator to understand what type of attacks your network is susceptible to, which network devices need to be secured further, how to decide when malicious traffic sources to target, and more. And by the way, Event Log Analyzer is part of the Log360 solution. And deploy a network intrusion prevention solution. So the advanced security analytics module of NetFlow Analyzer, which is also part of the Op Manager solution, which is a network flow-based security analytics and anomaly detection tool that helps in detecting intrusions using continuous stream mining engine. With the help of flows that's collected, we classify anomalies like bad source destination, like source IP is either multicast or broadcast or network IP, that's unicast. Suspect flows like TCP flows without any payload. Now that is a flow that you'll have to inspect. TCP flows with bytes per second, bytes per packet less than 40 octets, which is without a payload that has to be identified and that has to be eliminated from your infrastructure. DOS flows with the same source IP and destination IP, causing the target machine to reply to itself continuously and land attack flows. So with these flow detection technology, you'll be able to identify the attacks on your infrastructure, and you can take the necessary steps to avoid them in the future or eliminate them from your infrastructure. Moving on to the next security function, protect. Securely decommission service providers. So deprovisioning is a crucial task that an AD administrator, a domain admin, or an IT administrator have to perform repeatedly for different AD objects. Doing this task for every object one after the other is another one of those taxing tasks in Active Directory that every administrator has to put up with. AD Manager Plus can simplify this tedious task so much, decommissioning users through AD Manager Plus product. So if an employee leaves the organization or a service provider leaves the contract, we'll have to remove them from Active Directory. First, you'll have to remove them from security groups, modify group attributes, select the group from which you want to remove, or select clear all group membership, disabling the account, delete user account from AD, not just deleting the user, but you should also be able to restore them if there is any accidental deletion of users. Decommissioning a file server. In the native Active Directory environment, the home folder and profiles can be changed only for one user at a time, but in AD Manager Plus, you can create tasks and you can automate them. To delete an user exchange mailbox, either the mailbox can be deleted or the user associated can be deleted from Active Directory, which will render the mailbox unusable. So there are different processes in decommissioning a user or a service provider from your infrastructure. An IT administrator going through one by one for various users and service providers, it's a tedious task. You can very well automate that with the help of AD Manager Plus product, moving users, disabled users or moving users from one container to another, removing security groups, and seeing who are all the disabled users and accordingly delete them from the AD infrastructure. All this can be done automated in the AD Manager Plus product. Let's move on. The last one of today's discussion, security function recover, establish and maintain security incident thresholds. So establishing and maintain security incident thresholds, including at a minimum differentiating between an incident and an event. Examples like abnormal activities or vulnerabilities, security vulnerabilities, weakness, data breach, privacy incident. You'll have to review annually or when significant enterprise change occurs that could impact this safeguard. So for you to differentiate from a regular incident from these kind of events, you need to have an enterprise service management solution. So you can create individual portals for your IT security team and handle incidents with unique notifications, SLAs, and escalation procedures. This will not impede with your regular IT management process. So you need to have different portals with different configurations, and based on that, you'll have to act accordingly. So with this security function, we have successfully completed the CAS controls implementation group 3. So we'll move on to the next agenda for today's session. Look at the products we have discussed in all 3 sessions, right? Manage Engine products we have discussed so far. AD Audit Plus in Control 8.6 and .12. AD Audit Plus helps keeps your Windows Server ecosystem secure and compliant by providing full visibility into your domain controllers, monitor logons, analyze lockouts, detect changes to users, groups, OUs, GPOs, and Azure AD. It can also audit file servers, file accesses, permission changes across Windows, NetApp, EMC, Hitachi file systems. It can audit, monitor your Windows servers for local logons, changes to users, groups, and security policies. Windows infrastructure for to monitor, audit active time spent, changes to local users, groups, the same what we discussed on the Windows servers, including file integrity and USB activities. AD Manager Plus in Control 5.3 and 15.7, an Active Directory management reporting solution that allows IT administrators to manage AD objects and generate reports at ease. AD Self-Service Plus in Controls 6.3, 7, and 14.3. It's a self-service password management, helps users to reset their password by themselves, and also offering single sign-on solution. We also have Identity Manager Plus, which is a cloud application that provides single sign-on for your enterprise application, which supports SAML authentication. Application Control Plus in subcontrols 2.3, 5, 6, and 7 automating the placement of applications in whitelisting and blacklisting based on the rules that you create. So you would know, what has to be installed and what not has to be installed on your infrastructure by whitelisting and blacklisting applications. Asset Explorer in Control 1.1, 2.1, 4, and 12.4. So this software helps you monitor and manage assets in your network from planning phase to the disposal phase. So you have a purchase order module, so you can take into consideration when you purchase a product, it gets added to your inventory software, and when it is live in the network, it gets assigned to a user. So in store, in use, in repair, expired, disposed, the complete life cycle of an asset can be managed with the help of Asset Explorer. Not just IT assets, it can be non-IT assets like projectors, scanners, and anything that you want to track as an asset in your infrastructure can be very well managed with the help of Asset Explorer, and this is also built in to our help desk module, Service Desk Plus. The next product, Browser Security Plus. In Control 1.1, 2.1, 4, and 12.4, helping IT administrators manage and secure browsers across network. It enables them to gain visibility on browser usage trends, harden browser settings, control browser extensions and plugins with Firefox, Chrome, or IE, Edge, lock down enterprise browsers, and ensure compliance with stipulated browser security standards. Data Security Plus in Controls 3.1, 13, 14, 13.2, and 7, and 14.5. Auditing your file servers on all file accesses and modifications made in real time. Data leak prevention and data risk assessment. Perform content inspection and contextual analysis to discover sensitive data in files and classify it based on vulnerability. Desktop Central, it's a huge list of controls that it can satisfy, as you can see on the screen. Most of the security, vulnerability scanning, patching, management functions can be achieved in Desktop Central. As I said, software deployment or patch management, configuration in terms of hardening your endpoints, remote control, mobile device management, add-ons, and more. So this can be a very crucial part of your CIS control compliance management products. Device Control Plus in Control 3.9, 10.3, 0.4, 13.2, and 13.7. A comprehensive data leakage prevention solution that allows you to control, block, and monitor USBs and peripheral devices from having unauthorized access to your sensitive data. Event Log Analyzer, part of Log 360, log management, auditing, and IT compliance of your infrastructure in one console. Firewall Analyzer, a log management tool specific to your network firewalls that can help you identify traffic patterns and configurations on your network devices, specifically firewalls. Log 360, again, a good amount of controls can be managed using Log 360, a single log collection tool for various resources of your infrastructure, starting from your domain controllers, file servers, Windows workstations, Linux servers, network devices, Exchange, Office 365, cloud applications, service providers like AWS, Azure. So collecting logs from all of these resources, maintaining a single repository, for you to audit and collect information, reporting against it, and having compliance generated out of the logs that we collect. Mobile Device Manager Plus in controls 4.10, 11, 12, and 14.7. Managing your mobile devices, managing apps installed on those devices, email management, content management, and we also saw containerization of personal and corporate data within a device can be managed very well in Mobile Device Manager Plus. NetFlow Analyzer in control 13.4, 6, and 8, which is a unified solution for your bandwidth flow analysis that collects and reports about what your network bandwidth is being used for and by whom. It talks about the top talkers in your network, which application is consuming a bandwidth, the source, destination, port, protocol used can be identified with the help of flows in the NetFlow Analyzer product. Network Configuration Manager Plus that can monitor the configurations on your network devices, identify changes in the configuration, firmware management, and compliance report can be identified here. Op Manager in controls 4.2, 8.3, 7, 12.1, and 13.6. It can monitor your infrastructure. So any IP device can be monitored from Op Manager to monitor its availability, and custom SNMP monitors through MIPS. We have 50,000 plus vendor templates. We have 10,000 plus device templates that can identify the performance of the device and can set thresholds and alert you when an event occurs in your infrastructure. So it can monitor your network gears, servers, both physical and virtual, and any IP device for availability. Moving on to the next set of products, OpUtils in controls 1.2, 3, 4, 5, 13.2, and 13.7. It has IP address management and switch port mapper with rogue detection functionalities, which we have discussed a couple of times in the webinar series. PAM360, again, one of the controls, one of the product that we discussed so often in this CAS subcontrols explanations. Privileged access management monitors the infrastructure for privileged accounts, and you can manage them. You can share them, share the passwords with the users who needs access, and you can audit the remote connections and terminate them if necessary, or you can share that with your auditors for them to know what happened and who made the changes. Can be monitored in the PAM360 product. Patch Manager Plus in control 7.3 and 4, not just Windows patching, but other operating systems, Windows, Linux, Mac operating system, third-party applications can be done here. Recovery Manager Plus in control 11.3, backup and recovery management for your Active Directory, Azure AD, Office 365, Google Workspace, and on-premise Exchange can be done in Recovery Manager Plus. Vulnerability Manager Plus, a product from ManageEngine, controls subcontrols that we discussed satisfying these needs. 7.1, 2, 3, most of the 7 lines, and 16.2, scanning the network for specific operating system vulnerabilities and identify if we have any related patches for them. Finally, our help desk solution in control 7.9 and help the solution with asset inventory management and ITIL functions like incident, problem, change management, and CMDB, configuration management database, service catalog, and more ITIL functions. So we discussed about 22 products here, in Manage Engine, specific to the CAS controls on how we can satisfy them. Going with one single vendor, here is where the real advantage is. How these products club together and what solutions we offer. So Desktop Central is a unified endpoint management software that can do patch management, software deployment, configurations for endpoint hardening, mobile device management for iOS, Android, and Windows devices, Chromebooks, Windows OS deployment. And with the recently added security add-on, you can scan those operating systems for vulnerability and identify the browsers installed in the machine, and you can manage browsers, devices that is getting connected like USBs and peripheral devices getting connected to the network, what applications has to be whitelisted, what applications has to be blacklisted, and BitLocker management. So all these products combined, we have Desktop Central unified endpoint management software that gives you all these functions in one single console. So we rate this first in terms of CAS security controls. Op Manager, which is the IT operations management suite of products from Manage Engine that has monitoring abilities on its own and can monitor bandwidth usage, can monitor startup running configuration on your network devices, monitor logs on firewalls, and Oputils, which is IP address management and switch port mapper. We talked about the rogue detection functionalities within this. So this is the second solution we have representing Manage Engine for the CAS controls. And the third one is Log 360, which is a one single console that combines all the log collection activities in one single place. Event log analyzer for your Windows infrastructure, non-Windows network devices, even your vulnerability scanners can be imported as a log format into the Event Log Analyzer product. Monitoring your, auditing your Windows infrastructure, security events, AD Audit Plus. Auditing your Microsoft 365 or Exchange on-prem, Cloud Security Plus, specifically AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and Log 360 Unified Endpoint Behavioral Analysis, Unified Entity Behavioral Analysis that can automatically identify an anomaly and can alert you through risk scores, and the IT administrator can perform the related operation here. AD360, the last solution I would like to represent, that combines all the Active Directory management, auditing, and reporting, including recovery of your Windows infrastructure in one single place. So there were 22 products with 6 solutions, Service Desk Plus and Data Security Plus. So with this 6 solution, one vendor, Manage Engine, you'll be able to comply most of the CIS 18 controls what they have provided. So these 4 solutions, Log 360, AD360, Desktop Central, Op Manager, with the remaining of the products, can satisfy most of your CIS compliance from one single vendor. So with this, we are concluding the 3-part webinar series on CAS control masterclass. 56 controls that we discussed on implementation group 1, 74 in the second webinar, implementation group 2, and today the third webinar, 23 safeguards in implementation group 3. So a total of 153 controls. Hope the session was helpful and informative. Please post your suggestions in the survey that will help us improve and encourage our future sessions. Looking forward to hearing from you. Over to you, Murali. Thank you.